History is littered with stories of people being taken over spiritually by dead or otherworldly beings. So, in today's List Bomb, we go over the top 8 demonic possessions. Starting off at number 8, the demonic dog and the son of Sam. During the mid-1970s, serial killer David Berkowitz created terror in the hearts of the residents of New York City. He targeted single women and couples, taking the lives of over 6 people and leaving several others injured. Once apprehended, he claimed that it was his neighbor's dog, Harvey, who was possessed by a demon that ordered the killings. Number 7. Exorcism in the Philippines. National Geographic covered the story of a boy in the Philippines who violently shook whenever scripture was read to him. When the local exorcist inspected the boy, he said that it was most likely Satan himself, or even possibly a demon, dwarf, or troll possessing the boy. Number 6. George Lukins and the 7 Demons. Dubbed the Yuton Demoniac by the British press, George Lukins claimed to be possessed by 7 demons that could only be removed by 7 different priests. So on July 13, 1978, 7 priests were rounded up and began a lengthy exorcism at the Temple Church in Bristol, England. As the priest opened the exorcism by singing hymns, George Lukins fell into a violent fit, barking and hissing at the men before shouting that his torment of George Lukins would be 1,000 times worse for trying such a stupid thing as an exorcism. Following that outburst, Lukins cycled through 7 demonic personalities, at the end of which he yelled that he was the devil himself. In the end, according to the account, the demons were sent back to hell. Number 5. Anna Ecklund. By the time she was just 14 years old, a girl from Erling, Iowa named Anna Ecklund began showing signs of demonic possession. The girl had been raised a devout Catholic. However, her father and aunt, who practiced witchcraft, allegedly cursed the girl. The girl was apparently possessed by multiple demons and dead people at the same time. And after a long exorcism, she was finally freed from her demonic possession, only to be repossessed several years later, thanks to her father and aunt's witchcraft. Reports stated that during possessions, she exhibited inhuman strength. She levitated, walked up the walls backwards, and spoke many languages in which she did not know. Number 4. The Possession of Julia. In 2008, Dr. Richard Gallagher, a psychiatrist and faculty member at Columbia University, was asked by a bishop to provide a psychiatric evaluation of a woman who claimed to be attacked by demons. The woman, to whom he gave the pseudonym Julia, would be completely normal, but at random intervals, she would go into brief trances, followed by a rage, during which she would begin screaming, "Go away, you idiots! Leave her alone!" Objects fell off the shelves in the room, and Julia would start violently shaking. And allegedly, she also levitated 6 inches off the ground for half an hour. Number 3. Roland Doe. Roland Doe is one of the most notorious stories of demonic possession. In the late 1940s, Doe's aunt encouraged him to use a Ouija board, and many speculate that after her death, the boy attempted to contact his aunt with the Ouija board, an act which opened the door for demons who wished to possess him. The possession started with strange sounds, like dripping water that no one could place. Eventually, religious artifacts began to quake and fly off the walls, and unexplained footsteps and scratching noises could be heard around the home. The scratches began to appear on the boy's body, including words that seemed to have been clawed into his flesh by unseen claws. The boy spoke in tongues, in a guttural voice, and levitated in the air, with his body contorted in pain. His family brought in a Catholic priest who determined that the boy was possessed by evil spirits and needed an exorcism. The exorcism ritual was performed over 30 times, with the boy injuring the priest many times throughout. When, at last, the rite was successful, the entire hospital heard Doe's cry of anguish and reported a horrible sulfuric odor hanging in the air. Number 2. Anneliese Michel. Anneliese Michel is a controversial case and was the basis for the Hollywood movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose. 16-year-old Anneliese Michel had a history of epilepsy and mental illness, and in 1973 Michel became suicidal, spurned all religious artifacts, drank her own urine, and began to hear voices. Medicine did nothing to help the girl, who begged her family to bring in a priest because she believed that she was being possessed by demons. Though her request was rejected, 2 local priests secretly began treating her with exorcism rites. Michel had almost 70 exorcisms performed on her over the course of 10 months. She refused to eat and often talked of dying as a martyr. Many of the attempted exorcisms were recorded, and here's a sample. And your number 1 demonic possession is Clara Germana Cele. Clara Germana Cele was a Christian student at St. Michael's Mission in Natal, South Africa. For some reason, Cele prayed and made a pact with Satan when she was 16 years old. And just days later, Cele was overtaken by strange impulses. She was repulsed by religious artifacts like crucifixes. She could speak and understand several languages of which she had no previous knowledge, and she became clairvoyant regarding the thoughts and histories of the people around her. Nuns who attended Cele reported that she produced horrible, animalistic sounds. She also levitated up to 5 feet in the air. Eventually, 2 priests were brought in to perform an exorcism. Cele tried to strangle one of the priests with his stole, and over 170 people witnessed her levitating as the priest read scripture. Over the course of 2 days, the rites of exorcism successfully drove the dark spirits from her body. And what makes Clara's story our number 1 today is the fact that it had so many witnesses. Now, normally eyewitness testimony is worthless, but when so many people see identical results, it adds some credibility. Now, do I believe in possession? Honestly, not really. I've never seen one. But if a girl walked up the walls backwards and defied gravity, I might believe. So tell me, do you believe? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.